Evening. Sorry I'm a tad late here. It is about 10:33 p.m. on Wednesday, August 19th of 2026 here on the east coast of the US, and my cat is begging for attention, probably because I just came out of the shower and he likes the way I smell, and he's just gonna lick my legs for a little bit or something. Nope, there's my foot. Why are you biting my foot? My foot is not your food. What in the... Of course we got the quirky cat. But then I'm not normal either. Anyway, hi, good evening. Mando, good evening, chat. Mando Gamer says, you will never win. Yeah, it feels like that sometimes. Actually, I'm a bit rattled today because I got a text from a longtime friend of mine. Apparently, her husband suddenly passed away today, and I don't know the whole story yet, but I'm very sad because that shouldn't happen until we're all old and wrinkled and, you know, when we feel that our time has come. So, in light of that, and also because I haven't done it in a while, I think I'm going to lower the difficulty tonight, and you're not going to see me competing for my record. What you're going to see is I'm going to take a more relaxed route, a little easier route, because what I've generally been doing is I've been playing through the first quest similarly to how I got my personal best there, my 39.5 minutes and change. I've been skipping the blue ring, and I've been, you know, taking that risk. Higher damage, you save time. But tonight, I am going to actually take the route that I took the last time I did a dance pad run. Partially because I want to practice for that, but also partially because I want to demonstrate, you know, for folks who haven't been watching the channel for as long, that it is still possible to have a decent time while making your life a little easier. Because let's face it, sometimes you just need to turn the difficulty down and make an easier time of things. It's necessary. It's good for you. It's not healthy to be pushing yourself to the limit all day, every day, no matter how cool it looks. Let's face it, it's not cool. It's stressful. It's not good for you. It's not good for your long-term health. Sometimes you just gotta chillax. But anyway, this is not the vanilla ROM, of course. This is another Zelda Maker test. He wrote me another email, but this one was very short. Sent to me earlier today. I changed 7 graphic things. Let's see if you can pick them out. That's it. End of email. Now, I wasn't watching this from the beginning, but all of these items look the same as usual. And I'm not talking about for his test ROMs. I'm talking about they look the same as vanilla. So maybe we have our work cut out for us. But I suppose we can begin. In times of trouble, go with what you know. So, I'm just going to keep my notes here in front of me-ish, because that way I know where I'm going. And, Mando Gamer says, nah, name it Zelda for second quest. Nah, we're not going to do that. Remember, the idea here is lower the difficulty a bit. Second quest, not lower. Oh, I can just put it in front of my keyboard, on my keyboard. I don't need my keyboard while I'm playing. We're using this thing. It is the NES Classic controller, as it was included with the NES Classic Edition a few years back, and connected through a Classic controller to USB adapter. And Mando Gamer says, I know, but some of us don't get to lower the difficulty. I apologize for that. I know we're all in different situations, and sometimes we don't get to lower the difficulty. But hopefully, if you're in one of those situations, hopefully this can just be a little bit of an escape for you for an hour or so, and take a deep breath and hang in there. I'll begin now. Start the clock and let's go get the wooden toothpick. We won't have the toothpick for very long. We are still going to head to level 2 first. And we're still going to abstain from violence until we have a good shot at a blue moblin, because if we wait until we have a crack at one of them, there is a 41% chance that he will drop a pack of bombs, which is what we want for level 2. Whee! Take a nice strategic path. And I would like for this guy to be my first victim. And, whoa! Well, unfortunately we didn't get our bomb drop, but I see the sword beam is exploding into meat. And also, I see that the, when the enemies die, they are exploding into, I don't know what that is, actually. So we've found 2 of these graphical changes so far. Oh, apparently, oh, they're wands. Yes, Mando Gamer with the eagle eye. So we'll let them come to us because it's quicker. We don't need to engage in combat against them. They don't drop any items. And they're not obstructing me either. And those did not look like boomerangs. I think we just found our 3rd modification. We'll get another look at it shortly. Oh, they were bows. Oh, that's so funny. Look at the boomerangs. So that's change number 4. What a weird... Was this on purpose? In general, if you want to speed up your completion, you want to avoid unnecessary combat. And try to only attack when you have to. Ow. Not necessary. We won't go out of the way for that. So apparently Zelda Maker had Mando Gamer test a ROM, and he says it's evil. Bomb damage to Link, no shield, dungeon monsters on the overworld. I think it's right up your alley, he says. That definitely sounds more dangerous. Ow. I'll take that. Oh, I don't need those 4 bombs. Oh, it's not a Zelda Maker ROM. Okay. So, after having, completed level 2, we're gonna go ahead and grab 30 rupees from here. Next, on this screen, because we need to start raising money for the blue ring, we're gonna blow a hole here, and we're gonna take 30 more rupees. Next, we're going to head north. Oops. And we're going to go up these stairs. Another boomerang masquerading as a fireball. No, it's the other way around. We're going to grab this letter, just in case we need to buy medicine later. And now we're going to proceed to the upper right corner. And how are we going to do that if it looks like it's blocked off? Well, one of the worst kept secrets is that you can walk straight up through that wall. You don't need to press against it for any length of time. You simply walk as if it's not even there. And now you have 100 rupees. So we are well on our way to purchasing the most expensive item in the game, and also one of the best. The blue ring, which cuts your damage in half. Definitely something you want if you want to lower the difficulty. So now I'm going to blow a hole here, enter the rock, and this is where we grab our 5th heart container, which is key because you need 5 heart containers to pick up the white sword and graduate from your toothpick. We're just going to go this way. Now this is a one-way passage. We can't go back that way. Oh. We're just going to go this way. That screen is the Lost Hills. It's a special screen. We don't like that Lionel is walking to the left. And we still don't. Now we can get around him. But if it's a bad spawn, you can just leave the screen and come back. The white sword can be picked up as long as you have 5 heart containers, and it does double the damage of the toothpick you start with. Grabbing it now, this early in the game, makes the entire game easier. Oops. Thank you for leaving your bloody organ on the ground. The flying boomerangs. What a... I don't know if that was on purpose, but if it was, that's very silly. And I love silliness, so there's that. Next, we're going to go to good old level 1. Across this bridge. Now, when we enter level 1, we can see the door to the north is locked. We're going to immediately leave. And then we're going to re-enter. And guess what? The door is open. That is the easiest Zelda glitch to pull off. Grab the key. There's another key in the room to the west, but we don't actually need it, so we're going to keep going. But if you're paranoid about running out of keys, you could grab it. Now, here's why we did level 2 before we did level 1. Because I can simply blow a hole here and skip several rooms. Oops. Now we'll proceed north. Grab this key. If it's easier to use bombs, use them. Try not to run out, though. Now, if you're wondering how I did that, that's called the block clip glitch. And if you type block clip glitch into YouTube, you will see many demonstrations of how to do that, including one of my own coming soon. Now, what I did there, moving right as I came out, that is not the safest way to do that, but it is the quickest. If you would like to wait, by all means, do so. You just save time doing it that way. Now, not everybody gets the boomerang here, but I do. Because I feel it makes the rest of the game easier, once again, making it a little easier. And you will see later how I accomplish that. Oh, 3 boomerangs at once? The Dragon Aquamentus goes down in just 3 hits from the white sword, and there we go. Mando Gamer in chat says, gonna have to make a sign. YYR Games teaching Legend of Zelda for 40 years and counting. Well, maybe not that long, but I have been playing this game for some time. Alright, so the next step... just to make certain that we have enough money, we can blow a hole here. And we'll take 30 more rupees. Next, we're going to buy the blue candle from this here shop. We're going to make use of it almost immediately. We're going to proceed west towards level 3, but we're not going there just yet. I didn't actually need to pick that up. So if I just keep proceeding west, on this screen, we switch to the blue candle we just purchased, and we're going to burn this tree right here and go into the stairs, and we find ourselves 100 rupees. And now, and by the way, you can walk over it if you're just a little bit higher. Now we're going to head back to the east. Before we go... Oh, that's funny. When the arrows reach their destination, they turn into a bomb. Does that count as the 5th change? I'm not sure. We touch this Armis to wake it up, go down the stairs, and we are in the shop where you can purchase the blue ring for 250 rupees. Now we've turned white as proof that we have the blue ring. And what does that do? All damage is cut in half from this point forward, making the game that much easier. Whoops, I didn't go the right way. I need to go 1 screen south of here, then go east. And this takes us to the entrance of level 3. Now, obviously it took some time to pick up all that extra money and then the blue ring. I'm about 2.5 minutes behind where I otherwise would have been. I picked up a key there. I'm not going to repeat that chat comment, Mando Gamer. Sorry. Alright, so now I'm going to briefly go north. We'll have to fight those dark nuts. But we're going to grab that key first. Oh! Let's go ahead and place a bomb here. That should speed things up a bit. Now the thing about dark nuts is, you just can't attack them head on. They won't take any damage. You've got to attack them from the side or behind. Ooh! Back off. We can access the basement after they make a little room, and now we have the raft, which we'll need to access level 4. So, now we're going to head straight back east, the way we came. Only difference is, this time, we're going to place a bomb, and we're going to go through here. 1 screen north. Now we bomb to the east, and we are looking straight into the face, or claws rather, of Manhandler. If you can get 1 bomb to land right in the center, great. If not, two sword hits, and you're done. Try not to take damage when fighting Manhandla, because if you succeed and you bombed it, you know, enough, you increase the chance of a bomb drop. I'm not going to go into the why, but rest assured, it does increase the chance that you get 4 bombs back. And that'll help you. We'll just top off. At the beginning of the game, you can hold up to 8 bombs. You can expand that to 16, but we won't be doing that in this speed run. Here's level 4. Now the white sword won't take them out completely, but it will knock them back into the wall and split them into 2 of the little bats. I'm going to use the block clip to get through this screen faster. But, you know, if you don't want to do that, you can light up the screen this way and walk around the blocks. This one is pretty easy to navigate, even without the candle. Now here on this screen, you're just going to go ahead and open up. You could use the candle to light up the room, but that takes time. So we're going to try not to do that. Now bombs will definitely clear these guys out faster. And also increase the chance you get a bomb drop to replace your bombs. The pesky bubbles will prevent you from using your sword for a few seconds. There is a way around that, sort of. I'll show you later. The ladder is one of the key items. You'll need it to finish the game. And now we have it. We're about 16 minutes in. We're going to quickly head back the way we came. This screen is much easier to navigate once you have the ladder. A straight line is all you need. We're going to continue north through the locked door. Now east. If you go north, there's a lot of extra stuff you have to do. But if you go east, walk along the top, and bomb the north wall, you've taken a shortcut. Now bomb east, and this is the room right before the boss. Once again, if you'd like, and you have enough bombs, you can use them to eliminate the enemies more quickly. And if you're lucky, you'll get a bomb drop to replace them. It doesn't always happen, but it's great when it does. Once you hit Gleeok a few times, his first head will come off. The first head always takes more hits than the others. Once that first head comes off, just persevere and you'll be past him in no time. But having full health and the ability to throw your sword makes it much easier. Now we're going to go east. We're going to take a little detour. We're going to head to the beach before we continue with dungeons, because, you know, who doesn't like the beach? I say this, but I'm not a huge fan of the beach myself. Not enough arcade games. Unless you go to a beach with an arcade. Highly recommended. So once you hit the forest here, I think I have it wrong. It's this screen. I had the right tree, just the wrong screen. Here's 100 rupees. We'll need that money. Not too long from now. Now we simply pop one screen below and bomb right here for an additional heart container. It's important to keep collecting these because in order to pick up the magical sword, the strongest sword in the game, we need 12. So that means just 3 more to go. Okay, so we're going to buy arrows here. And we're going to pick up this heart container, which is easy once you have the ladder. Now, here, this is kind of up to you. On one hand, if you don't grab the heart container, you can't get it later. There's not another way to get that heart container. But if you take the medicine, then you have medicine that you can use later in the game, and you don't have to worry about buying anything. It's a huge time saver, and speedrunners do that all the time. Let's see, medicine, okay. You could climb those stairs on the way to level 5, but it's much shorter if you take these stairs. Since you walk slower upstairs, it's key. Now you've earned yourself a 12-second intermission. Take a sip of water. The way through the magical Lost Hills is simply to go north 5 times. Ooh, why didn't the music stop? I don't know. The timing on beating that enemy was kind of weird. You can see there's a key in that mummy, but we don't need it right now. We have to defeat that mummy again later anyway. Same thing with those bombs, we don't need them yet. What we do need is to make a hole and go west. I'm going to use the block clip glitch to get through here because I don't really want to defeat those blue dark nuts if I can help it. Now we're going to unlock this door to the west. There's no way out of this. You have to defeat them. Now, the reason I did that is because, like I mentioned earlier, you can't damage them if you attack from the front. You can use bombs to help speed things up a bit, but if you lay a bomb down and then it walks, you know, if you lay a bomb down while facing a dark nut, like I just did, if it goes off and it's still walking in that direction, it does no damage. So you want to try to make sure that doesn't happen. Anyway, once you've defeated them, you can go into the basement here and grab the recorder, which is another key item required to finish the game. I used up all my bombs, but that's okay, because we're about to get more for free. We don't actually need to defeat them. We can simply walk past. Now, part of the reason I got the boomerang earlier is so that I could simply grab the bombs and keep going. As for these guys, we have to defeat them anyway. If you can get them to bunch up, that's even better. What a strange-looking boomerang. If you need extra money, you can defeat them, but we don't. The only thing we need to buy now costs 60 rupees, and then we don't need rupees again. You'll notice what I did there on both those previous screens as I grabbed the key and moved west. I hit the enemy, and then, you know, after I hit the enemy, I can walk through it for that brief period of time. absolutely take advantage of that when you can. Now, I'm going to put a bomb down here, then immediately switch to the recorder and use it. Using the recorder turns Digdogger into a much smaller enemy that is vulnerable. And if you put that bomb down first, it does damage immediately, cutting its HP in half, making it much easier to defeat. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to face east, and I'm going to blow into the recorder not once, but twice. What that does, it starts off, this whirlwind starts off taking you to level 1, but each time I face east and blow the recorder, it increases that by 1. Now you can see I return to the level 3 entrance. If you recall where we purchased the blue ring, we're headed straight back to that same shop. And this time we're going to purchase something else. A chunk of rotten meat. Because there is a hungry Goria in level 7 who will not let you pass until you present it. That is the last purchase we will need to make. After this, the only thing you need rupees for is you need 1 rupee to fire an arrow. That's it. And we have plenty. But what I am going to do is try to get extra bombs before I enter level 7. Because we're going to need some. So I'm just going to beat up on the blue enemies specifically. There are more of them here to the west. If you're even slightly lucky, you'll get at least 1 bomb drop. Now we're going to go north. Hey, Bob Q. And I'm going to blow the recorder right here. And that is going to get us into level 7. I'll switch back to bombs because we'll need them soon. Now what we don't need to do is defeat them. We simply bomb the north wall and proceed, and then we're going to go north again. And you know what? That was a little careless and I took some damage, but since I have the blue ring, it's all good. Using the ladder to your advantage will definitely help you defeat the enemies quickly. We don't need to fight this Digdogger, we can walk past that too. The orange Gorias can drop packs of bombs. So we present our rotten meat to the hungry Goria, who gets out of the way and allows us to proceed. And now, if I had lit up that room, you would see there's kind of islands in it, and you need to proceed first using the ladder to the middle island, and then to the right. You can always light up the room if you want, but, you know, it takes a little more time. And Bob Q asks, what were they throwing? Well, you know, bows. So we bomb to the right. Now, if you're running low on bombs, you can earn more on this screen by defeating the blue Gorias, but we don't need any right now. We're going to do the same thing to this Digdogger that we did to the previous one. However, this one splits into 3 pieces. Uh-oh, we didn't defeat all 3. You know what? There's an easy way to get rid of it. Leave the room and come back. If you defeated at least 1 piece, then leave the room and come back, the remaining pieces will disappear. We bomb east. Now, this room has bubbles and these gigantic hands called wall masters, which come out of the wall, and if they touch you, will drag you back to the beginning of the dungeon. The bubbles are very difficult to avoid, and if one touches you, you won't be able to swing the sword for a while. So if you use the bow and arrow instead, as long as you have a few rupees on you, they can't take the bow away, and you'll easily defeat them. Bomb East, and once again we are facing the Dragon Aquamentedness, who is extremely easy to defeat. We just picked up the 12th heart container. And another Triforce piece. We're just about to cross half an hour. Now, we can go through the Lost Woods, but I am going to demonstrate a way to save time. Actually, you know what? Let's defeat them first and hopefully get some bombs. Nope, didn't happen. Alright. Gotta try and position myself 5 pixels from the edge of the screen. Oop, I went too far. This glitch is called the screen scroll glitch. And if done correctly, it allows you to skip the Lost Woods right into the graveyard. Look for my tutorial video on that as well. I'll push this grave, go down the stairs, and here is the magical sword. Now, there are some speedrunners who abuse that screen scroll glitch, but in this run, I'm only going to use it that one time. Next, we'll challenge level 6, which, for many, is the most difficult of all of them, because of these guys, the Wizrobes. Now, if you were low on bombs like I was, defeating them is a very good idea, because the orange ones can give you additional bombs. We have to defeat these to get through the room. Pick up the key and move north. And we're about to fight the real Wizrobes. The blue ones, who are extremely pesky. They'll come at you and they'll be hurling magic beams. Now this guy that has me now is called a like, and if you have the magical shield, it'll eat it. But we don't have the magical shield. We didn't pick it up. What I am using the like for is a shield. I'm waiting for the blue Wizrobe to get close, and I'm stabbing it. 3 hits, and your meat shield is gone. However, you can easily just get eaten by another one. Your stab is going to come out whatever direction you were facing. And look at that. Already one of the blue Wizrobes is dead, and I was able to finish off the other one. Oops. Pretty easily. Using the likes as a shield makes it much easier to get through those rooms. No need to fight the Wizrobes here, just bomb east. Take the key, go south. With the magical sword, these guys are pretty easy to defeat. And honestly, you don't really need the candle to get through this room. This is the second Wizrobe battle room. Feel free to use the meat shield if you would like. I'm gonna forego it here. Well, okay. That was accidental. If you stand on the exact middle of the room, you will find that the Wizrobe cannot vertically fire at you. So it's a good place to stand to get attacked less. I could have done that quicker, but I was demoing some of those techniques there. You'll want to stop and defeat these 3 for a key. They also do tend to drop bombs fairly regularly, so defeating them is not a bad idea. Okay, we can see that Goma is going to the left. Just that little peak is enough. Obviously, one shot with an arrow is enough to defeat Goma. Alright, so we last used the recorder to warp to level 3. We're going to face west and blow into it once more. 3 minus 1 is 2. We go to level 2. The reason we're here is because level 2 is relatively close to the entrance of level 8, which is where we're going now. South. South again. And now we're going to take our blue candle and we're going to burn this tree that sticks out like a sore thumb. Switch back to bombs. We'll be needing those soon. And we could fight Manhandla if we wanted, but we don't. Now, this room is kind of annoying. There's no way to skip it. We have these blue dark nuts, and we have fireballs coming at us, too. Now, I took that fairy immediately, but it was not by choice. If you don't need the health items yet, and one appears, try to keep it around, just in case you get stabbed or shot or something. You can replenish your health. Now, you don't need to defeat these guys. You just need to get to the locked door and open it. This is the second Dark Nut room that you must clear. Fortunately, with the magical sword, 2 hits are enough. Yep, if you're standing below a block, the sword will come out the top. You can definitely exploit that in many situations. Lots of tips and tricks for this game. Try to ignore the enemies if we can and get to the stairs. Oops. It doesn't always work. As soon as you come out of the stairs, switch to the bow and arrow, fire 1 here and 1 there, and you've just gotten rid of those pesky Pulse voices. Blow a hole through the north wall, and it's time to fight the 4-headed Gliok. But with the magical sword, 3 hits for the first head, 2 hits for each additional, and you're already done. Piece of cake. Go north, and this is the last piece of the Triforce. You just assembled the whole thing. Now, it's recommended to fight the final dungeon with a full pack of bombs. If you go east, if you're lucky, one of the blue enemies will drop a pack of bombs and fill you up. If you're not lucky, go 1 more screen east, and as long as you have 20 rupees, you can go in the shop and buy yourself 4 bombs, which I don't need to do. What I am going to do now is face west and blow into the recorder once more. 2 minus 1 is 1. This takes us to level 1. If you used up your medicine and you need more, you can go 1 screen south, 1 screen west. Switch to the blue candle and burn this tree here. If you go in there, there will be another medicine. And then you have full medicine no matter what. Now we simply go this way. Up these stairs, and now west towards level 9. The final dungeon in this game. Could you stop flinging swords everywhere? Someone could get hurt. That's dangerous. Paying no attention to the fact that I just slaughtered a poor defenseless Lionel. Jeez. Well, here we are. Level 9. You can't get past this room unless you have the full Triforce. But we do. If you're short on keys, you can defeat the enemies in this room to get another one. We're not. If you can do the block clip glitch, you can skip fighting those snakes. Now, I really like to use the boomerang in this room, as we have just passed 40 minutes. Whoops. We unlock the door and go east. No need to fight them. Now this is our first encounter with the mini-boss Patra. However, as long as Patra stops being a jerk and patrolling the door, we can slip past it. No need to defeat it. Switch to bombs, and we're going to bomb the west wall. And now, we have a forced encounter with Wizrobes. We must defeat them to move forward. Once again, I'm going to hang out on this middle line. Oh, but the watch is even better. Sometimes, if you're lucky, these will drop a little health. You're going to go ahead and use your last key to open the west door. Don't worry, you're going to get another key right now. Here's our second encounter with Patra. Try not to let the flies touch you. Just keep an eye on where Patra is moving. If you see Patra is heading towards you, just be ready to step back. Once the flies are gone, Patra itself can take damage. 3 stabs are enough. We're going to push that block and go down these steps. This is where we get the silver arrow, which is the item you need to defeat Ganon. We're going to blow a hole up here, but before we do that, we're going to defeat the 2 orange Wizrobes. The orange Wizrobes are easier to defeat than the blue ones. Now, here's the thing. These bubbles take away your sword for a minute. You know, a few seconds. And a few seconds is annoying, but if you blow the recorder, you can use the sword again immediately. Because the time you spend waiting for the recorder to end counts towards your sword coming back. And just like that, we have the silver arrow. So, when we last left this screen to the south, there were 3 blue Wizrobes, but now there's 1 orange and 2 blue. By defeating the orange Wizrobes first, we have essentially changed one of the blue ones into a less, into an easier to defeat orange one. You do need to be careful though, because the beams that come out of the orange ones, while they are easier to avoid, they will do double the damage. 4 hearts if you don't have the blue ring. I'm going to use the boomerang to stop these. Oops. It helps if you don't miss. walk straight up through this room, there's no need to take the candle out. So you can see there's more Wizrobes, but if you just go ahead and quickly bomb to the west, no need to fight them either. We will need to defeat these, though. I'm telling you, the middle column is the place to be. Down the stairs. Excuse me. Ow. That was my butt. The block clip will still save you time, even though those enemies are kind of pushovers. Highly recommended that you get good at the block clip. This is the last time we'll have to fight Patra. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. Goodbye, Eye. We'll switch to the silver arrow, because guess what's north of here? The ultimate fight. There's our good buddy Ganon. Now, Ganon is invisible, but if you stand here, he will eventually be in this spot. Sometimes he even appears in that spot immediately. If you touch him, it does a lot of damage. Hit him with the sword until he's stunned, then silver arrow him once, and you're done. And we didn't even use the medicine. Hit the fire, and this was a respectable 46 minutes, which is a good start. I would say if you're beginning to speedrun this game, your first goal should be about 45, 46 minutes, and then you can improve from there. Obviously, you know, I spent some time talking, I spent some time demonstrating. This could easily have been a 45-minute run if I had gone a little faster. But hopefully, if you are looking to start speedrunning this game, which I highly recommend, hopefully you got something out of this video, even though the graphics are a little bit weird. And, yeah, as far as the block clip and the screen scroll glitch, it's not necessary to use those. However, they will improve your time considerably. So, like I mentioned, if you search YouTube for Zelda block clip or Zelda screen scroll, you're going to get a bunch of tutorials from a bunch of different people, and mine will be up soon as well. So please look forward to that. So, and of course, if you press start, your save will be discarded, and then you'll be ready to play the second quest. Of course, we never actually saved the game, so there was no save to discard. So, yeah, we didn't find all 7 graphical differences, I guess. I wonder what I missed. Or maybe we did see it, but I didn't catch it. Anything's possible. So, yeah, as I mentioned near the top of the stream, I did get a text from a longtime friend of mine earlier, who mentioned that her husband suddenly passed away this morning, which, I mean, of course I'm rattled. It's not just the fact that, you know, I learned that someone I knew who was younger than me passed, which, you know, of course that's always freaked me out a little bit. But There's never anything there's never anything you can really definitively say about something like that. There's no magic advice. There's no don't worry, let's all just move forward and feel better. There's none of that. All I can say is be thankful for what you have. I'm very, very lucky. I have been where it counts because, of course, like I get parking tickets sometimes. Um, I, my wife and I both, we uh, we misread the flyer that had the information on when the day was where we could sign our daughter up for after school this fall, and we missed the day. And now we're having to scramble to put together a plan Z. But ultimately, it's it doesn't matter because we're going to figure it out. Where it counts, I've been extremely lucky my entire life. I don't think a lot of people realize just how lucky, how fortunate, how lucky and fortunate they are and how good they had it to be born to a typical well-to-do family, to be fortunate enough to never have to wonder where their next meal is coming from, or to have two parents who at least appear to love each other, or to have good friends, to have the money to not only live the way they can, but to also get the toys they want. Like, it's a gift. It's extremely lucky. And I my parents had good jobs, and we weren't made of money. We lived in a small, relatively small house. Um, Lots of my friends could afford more video games than I could, but we had what we needed. And where it counts, throughout my life, I've been extremely lucky. Um, my next door neighbor got me into the job that I've now had for over 25 years. And yeah, it's at a nonprofit and I'm good at not making money, but I love my job and it's stable. And that's more than a lot of people have. I originally wanted to go into game development. From a young age, I was obsessed with programming. That's why in my spare time I've created my own games, which are sitting there at yyrgames.com if you're interested. But I wanted originally to do that for a living, and I am so glad I dodged that bullet because I see what's going on in the industry now. And I mean, it's bad, but the truth is, for the past 20 years plus, game development has been largely a contract affair. You'll get a 6-month contract, a 1 year, a 2 year contract, and then you don't know if you're going to have a job after that. You don't know what's going to happen after that game ships. Um, are you going to go on to the sequel? Are you going to go on to post-launch support? Or are you going to be let go? You don't know. And it's been like that for years. I I got very lucky there. I got very lucky, knowing the people that I do, having met a lot of the people. I mean, I met a lot of the people that are very important to me now, either being at the right place and at the right time, going to the school that I did, or just hanging out in arcades playing Dance Dance Revolution or DJ Max Technica. I met a lot of great, wonderful people, and they're still my friends today. And then the luckiest thing of all, through a series of seemingly random events, I wound up with a girl who grew up 3,000 miles away from me, and now she's my wife, and we have an 8-year-old daughter, and I couldn't be happier. And so it feels bad because I've been so lucky in all these different ways. And this longtime friend of mine has not had the same luck. She she lost her parents and now her husband, and all before their time. And she's also, had to take care of the people in her life. She's been unlucky, and I wish that it was possible for me to go and give some of my luck to her. If I could, I'd turn back the clock and I would do it, because it just doesn't feel fair. Everyone should have a chance to be happy. That's what I think. A chance to not have to focus on how the heck am I going to put food on my table, and more on how can I be happy today. That's my wish for you, your families, and for not only anybody watching, but everybody, really. I hope that if you're not at that place right now, that you can get there where you're not in crisis, you're not struggling to pick up the pieces, where you can just think about the day that you're about to have in terms of, what do I feel like doing today to be happy? How can I make my day happier? I hope that if you're not there now, that you can get there. And that's all I got to say about that. Except, if you have the means, support your local food banks, or your local Feeding America chapter, or the Greater Feeding America organization. I say it sometimes. Now is as good a time as any to say it again. If you have the means, if you're in that place, let's try and lift up someone else too. Because that's what it should be about, right? It's not a competition. At the end of the day, we're all on the same team, despite what certain terrible people in government are doing, because they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand that this is not a competition and should not be a competition. We should all be on the same team. Everyone, not just in the US, the whole world. We should all be on the same team. That's how we all do better. By lifting each other up and not the other way around. That's just how it is. So I hope if you're not in that place that you can get there. And now I will close out my stream the same way I always do, by thanking you for watching, especially if you got this far. Thank you very much. I appreciate it a whole lot. I know you have many choices, both on Twitch and YouTube, TV, whatever streaming service you might have, or heck, you could even be playing a video game. But instead, you're here, and I thank you for that. If you want to support me, then just watch again. I stream every Wednesday and Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I put the video up on YouTube afterwards. Um, or if you go to yyrgames.com, you can see some of the stuff I've made. And if you like arcade style games, I guarantee you'll have a good time playing them. My next stream will be Saturday evening, the 22nd, where I will be continuing the ROMhack by the 3Dude, the Legend of Zelda ROMhack called Perils of Darkness. It'll be part 3, I believe. Yep, that's right. I'm still pretty early on, so it's definitely a good time to jump in. And next Wednesday, probably another ROMhack test, but if Zelda Maker doesn't send me one, there's a reason why I did this route. I will reattempt the dance pad run. It's this exact route, but I'm on a dance pad. No controller, only feet. I hope you'll look forward to that. And yeah, that's it. So till next time, please take care of yourself. Please, please, please take care of yourself, because taking care of others is pretty great. But if you're not also taking care of yourself, you're not going to be in the best position to do that. Ooh, my voice is going. So please don't forget to take care of yourself. If you haven't seen a doctor recently, go do it, please. Dentist too. Haven't been to the dentist lately? Go ahead and schedule an appointment. Go get a cleaning. Your mouth health is important too. Also, if you have problems in your mouth, they're going to make you miserable. You don't want to be miserable. So, anyway, please do take care of yourself. Yourself is important. Please do take care, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.